What if I told you that every time you lean on ChatGPT to help you think, you're swiping a credit card against your brain's future? Not with money, but with mental energy. It's a quiet cost, one that doesn't scream at you in the moment, but builds up like interest on a loan, only to hit you when you need your mind most. Now, this research comes straight out of MIT, where scientists studied what happens to our memory, creativity, and thinking when we let AI do the heavy lifting. And the results should give anyone who uses AI daily something to think about. Yes, AI makes life easier. Yes, it feels efficient, but it also comes with hidden costs you don't pay until later. When your memory fails, when your creativity stalls, and when you feel less ownership of your own ideas. Welcome back to Quantum Logic. I'm your host, Spencer Scott, and today we're diving deep into this MIT study. If you've ever wondered whether ChatGPT is making you smarter or just making you more dependent, this episode is for you. By the end, you'll not only understand the risks, but also learn how to use AI more wisely without bankrupting your brain power. The study gave us 5 surprising discoveries. First, heavy ChatGPT use can weaken memory. Second, over-reliance builds something researchers call cognitive debt. Third, AI can trap us in shallow, repetitive thinking. Fourth, there's a hidden trade-off between speed and creativity. And fifth, the smartest strategy may not be rejecting AI, but delaying its use, struggling on your own before letting AI step in. So let's start at the top, memory. In the study, MIT researchers asked students to write essays under different conditions. Some had ChatGPT from the very beginning. Others had to wrestle with the task themselves before using the AI. What happened? The students who leaned on ChatGPT early remembered far less of what they wrote later. Their recall was weak. When tested, they couldn't pull up details in the same way those who first thought independently could. But why does this matter? Well, because memory isn't just about storing facts. It's the foundation of creativity, reasoning, and learning. Without memory, new knowledge has nothing to connect to. Think of memory as the scaffolding for a skyscraper. If the scaffolding is flimsy, the building wobbles. And memory is built through struggle. You have to wrestle with the material, play with ideas, test your brain. If you never give your mind that friction, that memory trace doesn't stick. Your brain coasts instead of building strength. And that brings us to the second finding, cognitive debt. This was the phrase the MIT team used, and it's powerful. Picture swiping a credit card for every hard thought you want to skip. Each time, you get instant relief. You don't have to strain. You don't have to sit with the frustration. But later, when you need to recall that knowledge or apply it creatively, you realize the balance is due. And just like with money, interest adds up. You can't keep borrowing forever. Eventually, the lender, your brain, comes knocking. This concept really resonates because debt is something most of us understand. It's the ease of tapping a card, buying now, paying later. It's seductive. But invisible costs compound, and AI can feel the same. It feels harmless to outsource a paragraph, a structure, even a whole argument. But over time, your ability to generate on your own weakens. The bill is a slower, less resilient mind. The third finding was about the quality of thought. Students who relied too much on ChatGPT didn't just forget more, they also thought more narrowly. Their essays circled the same small set of ideas, and they weren't exploring new ground. They were echoing what the AI had already offered. And that's a bit like a diet of fast food. You can eat 3 meals a day at the same drive-through. It fills you up, it's cheap, it's easy, but it's predictable and bland. So your palate narrows. Soon, you can't imagine flavors beyond what comes in a cardboard box. AI can feed you thought in the same way. It's polished, yes. It's grammatically clean, but it's also generic. Without the discomfort of forcing your own brain to connect dots, you stop exploring. And without exploration, creativity starves. Which brings us to the fourth point, the trade-off between speed and creativity. One of the clearest outcomes of the MIT study was that students with early access to ChatGPT wrote faster. And you know what? That's not surprising. AI is like strapping a jet engine to your desk. But here's the catch. Faster didn't mean better. In fact, depth and originality often suffered. You could think of it like driving a sports car with bald tires. You'll hit 100 miles per hour in seconds, but when the road curves, you have no grip. You spin out. And creativity is the grip of the mind. And while AI can push you to churn out words or ideas at incredible speed, it doesn't mean you're steering well. You can end up with output that's polished, but hollow, fast, but forgettable. The final point, though, is the most encouraging. The group that performed best wasn't the one with full AI access, nor the one with no access at all. It was the group that struggled first. They wrestled with the problem, tried to generate ideas on their own, and only then turned to ChatGPT. Their essays were richer, their recall was stronger, and their balance between efficiency and originality was healthier. But why? Because struggling first creates what psychologists call desirable difficulty. It's like sketching a rough outline before painting. The outline might be messy, but it gives structure. When AI came in, it didn't replace their work, it built on top of it. The mental effort of struggling laid down strong memory traces. AI then amplified instead of substituted their thinking. The metaphor I like is using AI as a spotter at the gym. You lift the weight yourself, you feel the strain, you build the muscle. Then when you're near failure, your spotter steps in, not to take over, but to help you finish the last rep. That's how AI works best, not as the lifter, but as the support. So, what does this all mean for you and me? It means the way we time our use of AI matters. If you're a student, don't rush to ChatGPT before you've thought through the assignment. If you're a writer, sketch a messy draft before you polish with AI. If you're in business, brainstorm on your own or with colleagues before asking the machine to optimize. The principle is universal. Think first, then amplify. And here's the bigger lesson. AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool like a hammer. A hammer can build a house or it can smash a window. The outcome depends on how and when you swing it. Use AI too early and you rob yourself of growth. Use it wisely and you can expand your reach. Efficiency isn't the only metric. Retention, creativity, and originality matter too. And if we want to build resilient minds in an AI-saturated world, then timing, when we reach for the machine, may be the most important decision we make. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that itch to open ChatGPT, pause. Ask yourself, am I building my brain or borrowing against it? Because just like credit cards, cognitive debt feels painless in the moment, but eventually the bill always arrives. That's it for today's episode of Quantum Logic. If this insight from MIT made you rethink how you use AI, share it with a friend who leans too heavily on their assistant. And make sure you hit follow so you don't miss the next deep dive into the hidden effects of technology on the human mind and more developments in the world of artificial intelligence. And as always, stay curious and stay human. Bye for now.